Welcome, everybody. We're excited that you guys joined us. It's a long weekend, but still, you guys prioritize this. So I appreciate your time and we'll try to make it work. So, in team, we have me, Fayaz, Nigar, Satya, Anna, and also Kusma. I am the CEO and founder of Grid Infosystem, and then the inspiration I got it from my corporate journey. I have been in corporate for a pretty long time, and I had seen how corporate leverage AI, automation, data in order to really succeed and go really ahead. And I was always wondering, why can't we bring it to our local businesses? And with that inspiration, I have founded Grid Infosystem. And there are other passionate people who agreed with me and they also came on board. So Fayaz, Nigar, Satyam, if you guys can introduce yourself.
Sure. So my name is Faz. I'm one of the co-founders. Started with Mithila. I've been working for almost 17 years doing algorithm and deep engineering stuff. Then got into AI probably in 2015 or 2016. And so I'm very interested in helping medium and small businesses to do AI. Pass it to Nigar.
Hi, this is Nigar Sultana. I am a mom of three daughters, a physics teacher with more than 15 years of teaching experience, and a small business owner. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And one thing I truly love is teaching and helping others to learn new skills. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Satya Chimpakindi, and I'm based out of Chicago location here, and I've been in the IT industry for more than 22 years. I've been doing all the time the data aspect, the data lake, all around data as well as the AI and agentic AI that took the journey very fast. So I'm really thrilled, in this summer camp to actually see how we can unlock AI not only for the software engineers but also for the foundational as a foundational tool for the future. Right? There's no age, there's no kind of experience that AI cannot take it forward. So I'm really excited and now going to learn with all of you how we can actually unlock AI, further. Thank you.
Kusma?
Hi everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone doing well. I'm Kusuma. I hold a bachelor's degree in computer science and I am currently pursuing my in cybersecurity. Alongside my studies, I work as a freelancer AI engineer and an individual contractor with a Git Infosystem. And I focus on front-end development and AI automation. And I'm really excited to be here as a part of a summer camp.
Thank you. Anna, do we have Anna in the meeting?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Anna. I am the HR advisor. So I am in mental health and higher education field for 10 plus years. Now I am trying to learn new thing AI with this beautiful team. Welcome, everyone.
And also in the chat, you guys let us know where you guys are from and what inspired you to join this class and what is at least one thing that you want to take as takeaway from entire bootcamp. In Grid Infosystem, we have three main stream of businesses. We are building AI platform for small to medium scale businesses. And we also provide AI automation services like creating chatbot, AI assistant, automating the workflow for businesses, helping them to migrate from manual to digitalization. And also we provide AI trainings. So if anybody need help, let us know. We are there to help. So this is pretty much the curriculum of our entire boot camp. We're starting today and we'll be ending on July 18th. So there are 5 week of Saturdays, but on July 4th is the holiday. So we'll not have any class during that session. Today, go through AI fundamental and prompt. And next class, we'll do more of web development using the vibe coding. And week 3 session, we'll some AI agent and we'll do some automation and also plug in that back with our web application. And at the end, you get to show off all the work that you did, whatever your best project, and you can showcase, you can present it. That's also an opportunity to network. We can have career discussion. And at the end, we'll give you certification. So all the classes are broken down into more of concept and sorry, concept, more of demo and hands-on, because I believe most of the people, we hear a lot about the AI, so there's a lot of hype going on. All we want is have real-time experience through our bootcamp. So today we'll go through the concept demo, and we'll have an in-class lab, and we'll have a homework. There are some information about the lab in the chat itself. There was some information sent out before this training started as well. So please follow those instructions so that we can have a successful lab. All right, I'll hand it over to Faz to talk through that concepts.
All right. So first, what is an LLM? Who used like YouTube, ChatGPT, Siri, or Alexa, or Gemini, or Claude, or any of that stuff? Basically, you're already using it. If you are, you live inside AI every day. You don't just call it. Today, you're going to learn how to control it, what's behind all of these tools. And what's behind it, the basic fundamental is a large language model or an LLM model. In English, it's basically just a program that is huge amount of text from the entire internet, or almost close to the entire internet. And until you train this and it got really good, it became a language model. So that's why it can read in what you type and answer back in normal words. Next. So how does LLM, what's in a very high level though, what's doing is just guessing the next word though. So if I say, for example, the cat sat on the blank, your brain instantly fills in mat or the floor or any type of words that actually logically make sense though. So tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and many others, it just guesses the next word and the next until it builds a whole answer though. From a technical point of view, computer folks call this word or call this concept called token though. So basically what we're doing is token prediction though. It's just predicting the next word though. It's just smart guessing from the patterns that it learned from when it was during training sessions though. So what is prompt engineering? First of all, a prompt is nothing but a set of instruction that you type to the AI though. The new way of doing things, in the days or even now, we level languages, now things are changing into prompt engineering. That's the new style right now that's happening though. Prompt engineering written clearly enough that the AI gives you what you actually pictured, not just something close to it though, you want though. You could think of AI as like a genie, or a sandwich, but you get the sandwich on the floor, not on the plate, because you didn't specify it though. And there are three concepts here though, in order to do prompt engineering. First is the context. You have to provide the background though. Who's it, where it happens. Second is the task, the actual job, the set of instruction that you want it to do though. Third is the constraint, the limitation. So you can think of this AI as someone that's sort of under you, and you're telling that person what to do, how to do it, where to do it, giving them instructions, and they implement it. And then they come back to you for you to review it. Next slide, please. So the types of prompting. There are different ways to prompt. It's not to memorize them, it's just very good for in practice, let's say. So the first concept is zero shot. Just to act like you just give no examples into it, you just give directly what you want though. It's like few shot, you give a couple of examples, you telling that person or you telling that AI of, I wanted this, and here's some past examples of how it's supposed to look like though. That is like a role where you're telling that person, okay, you're gonna act like a marketing guy, you're gonna be an engineer, you're gonna do this and that. I want you to think like this person or this way and execute these set of instructions, and I want to see this though. So the types of ways of how we are prompting though. Next, when do you use these prompts or techniques? So think of this as like a cheat. If you just need a quick answer, it's a zero shot. If you need to follow a pattern or a few examples, it's just a few shot. If you need an expert advice or a consultant from someone, you tell them to be a specific role, be a specific someone though. Good for it can do many things. It can do chain of thoughts, brainstorming, fixing something you already got, self-reflection. So these are the ways of where you use the different types of prompt cases. Next slide. So to summarize everything, the main concept here of prompt engineering is context, task, and constraints. This can also be applied not just in text, but it can be applied to generating pictures of how you want the pictures to be, as well as generating video, though. Today's lab will show you something very close to doing this stuff. Context becomes the lighting and setting, task becomes the subject, and the action becomes the camera if you're working on images or videos. So you're not learning 3 skills today, you're learning 1 skills in 3 contexts or 3 concepts. So hope you understood concept. Next, please. And here I'll pass the demo to Nigar.
Thank you. So let's talk about like image prompt formula. Image prompting 6 building blocks. So first one is like subject, who, what is in the image, action, what are they doing, environment, where are they, style, what artistic style do you want, and then lighting, bright, dark, sunset, neon, and so on. For camera, it can be like close up, shot, eye level, aerial review. The more details you give, the better the result. Otherwise, AI has to guess. So try to include at least 4 of these 6 building blocks in every image prompt. Next slide, please. Okay, so here comes weak versus strong. This slide shows why details matter. In the weak prompt, we only used subject and action. Everything else was left for the AI to guess. In the right-hand side, the strong prompt, we used all 6 building blocks: subject, action, environment, style, lighting, and camera. The more details we provide, the less guessing the AI has to do, and the better the result. Now, let's see the actual images and compare the difference. Okay, so look at the left slide. We only told the AI cybernetic samurai drawing a katana. The AI knows the subject and action, but everything else is a guess. That's why we get different backgrounds, different lighting, different camera angles, and different styles. Now look at the right side. Here we specified the environment, style, lighting, and camera angle. The AI does not have to guess anymore. The result is much more consistent and much closer to what we actually wanted. Just see the result and say, again, the better the prompts, the better the outputs. Next slide, please. So here is the video prompt formula. Video image prompting, we only add motion here. Everything stays the same: subject, action, environment, style, lighting, and camera. The only new piece is here motion. Think of it this way: image prompt, what the scene looks like, and video prompt, what the scene looks like plus how it moves. So this is the video prompt formula. And now we will see the the demo, how it the strong and weak and strong prompting for video. So here in the left side we can see only subject and action. Subject is like female astronaut and action is walking in a slow motion. And in the right side we specified everything like subject, female astronaut, action, walking in a slow motion, environment, red Martian landscape during a dust storm, lighting, dramatic lighting, camera, low angle tracking shot, and styling, cinematic, highly detailed. Now let's go to the demo and we will see what is happening there. Sound. Okay, we can see on the left side, the prompt only says a female astronaut walking in a slow motion. The AI knows the subject and the motion, but it has no guess everything else. That's why we get a plain background and a less interesting result. Are you guys looking at the left side, like left image? On the right side, we added more details: the environment, camera angle, lighting, and atmosphere. Now the AI knows exactly what the astronaut is, how the scene should look, and how the camera should capture it. The result feels much more cinematic and professional. The lesson is the same as image prompting. The more specific you prompt, the better your video will be. Thank you. Now I want to like Mithila, she will discuss about like storytelling. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nigar and Faz. We talked about image, we talked about video, and in a storytelling, what happened is we can do the storytelling in many different ways. We can have a video, we can have comic, we can have a video game, we can have real shorts, many different way we can do the storytelling. But regardless how we're doing that storytelling, it has four separate piece in that, right? So there's a beginning where you introduce the character and the world around that, and then something happened. There's some challenge that come on that character, right? um and then what do you do about that challenge? So there's a big climax in there, and then you make some decision there. There are some certain turn happen, and out of that there is a result comes in, right? Maybe there's a win, there is a loss, there is something, some resolution coming. So whenever we are doing a storytelling, any great storytelling book or anything, if you watch, you will see that everything has these four aspects. So whenever we are doing a storytelling through images, we have to make sure that we are doing that same. So for example, if you want to create a very simple one, we can create each image per scene, for one for beginning, one for conflict, one for climax, one for resolution. And we can see how that storytelling works. So here's a simple prompt that I gave it to Gemini in order to help me with the storytelling. So here I'm telling that, hey, give me a story which will have a beginning, conflict, climax, and resolution. And I'm giving an overview of that story. In that story, a student tries to build a video game, and then the struggle with the prompting, then attends that prompt engineering, and finally finishes that project. So I have not given a whole lot details, but I'm telling Gemini to fill it in and break it down into these four. And I'm also telling for each scene, give me prompt, and also prompt for writing that voiceover script so that it becomes a live story. And also the constraint I put it there is to keep that voiceover script just to a single sentence, but keep it engaging. And once I put that prompt, I mean, it gives me as an output, then I use Gemini, Google Flow, and any of video editing app to create that entire story. So first of all, I copy paste all the prompt that I get for the image, right? And I also have that demo in here. So at the very beginning, as you can see, it's the same prompt that I had shown in our previous. It gives me the output. It breaks down into those four, beginning, conflict, climax, and for each scene, it's giving me a prompt for each images. And next, I also asked for a voiceover. So it also giving me script for voiceover for each of those scenes. And then I copy paste all those prompts and I put it in Gemini and it generates those images as you are seeing. And then I go to Google Flow and I open new project. I upload the image that I generated. I select the voice and I select the settings. And then I copy paste that voiceover script. And then it generates the video. And then I download that. And I repeat the same process for each of all those images. And then I go to any of the video editing app and I combine all four scenarios one by one, and it gives me the entire story that I can export that as a video.
Meet Leo, a passionate student determined to bring his dream video game to life through character design. But as the code tangled and errors piled up, frustration took over, leaving him stuck in a loop of confusing prompts. Everything changed when a single session unlocked the secret code, blending perfect context with precise instruction. With the power of prompt engineering mastered, Leo triumphed, launching a breathtaking 3D world he created himself.
So
Leo.
you saw in this beginning, it started from the beginning to end with all those four phases that we discussed about. All right, after that, we'll get into the lab. Today's lab, it would be about comic book design. And in the lab, we'll be again doing that storytelling. So there would be a character of the comic, or could be multiple character of the comic. And then for that comic, we generate the scenes, and then we have to make one thing. Since it's a comic book, there's a character, so you want to keep that character consistent. You don't want that character to look different in every single time, right? For that, you have to copy the same exact, however you are describing that character, you have to keep that same thing. You have to do the same text. You have to get same text over and over for all those different panel that you generate. And at the end, you can add dialogue. I suggest that you just image first, and then you can add some bubble. You can use Canvas, or you can use some other tools in order to add those dialogue in there. Because ChatGPT or Gemini are not very good at text. Sometimes there could be a spelling error. Um, and by keeping the image simple as possible is my recommendation. And then at the end, there will be a homework. For that homework, it would be for the game designing, and we have provided the documentation, whatever it needed, before the session has started. So you guys will be utilizing that for the homework assignment. For video game, what's the difference between the comic, image, and storytelling compared to the video game? In the video game, usually there is a hero, there is a villain. Hero try to accomplish something, and villain put some challenges on the way. And then there is a world where everything is happening, and both hero villain, they have their own weapon. And then in order to gain some points, there's a point system, and everything happened in a user interface, right? So we'll have a user interface created. We'll also have hero, all those characters created as well, and we'll be providing you prompt, and it just matter of following through instruction, and you shall be able to create this video game by yourself, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right. There is ethics involved because as Faz was mentioning at the very beginning when he was explaining LLM, that all those there are information that have been taken from online, and then that has been used in order to train it. So if you're telling that create image with inspired by this artist, right? So you are basically doing something without that person's consent. So whenever you are doing certain things like that, just give it credit that inspired by this artist or that artist. And also do not create harmful content, and also be transparent and respect that copyright. Due to AI, a lot of change has happened in the been created. At the same time, a lot of shift has happened to the existing job, such as AI artist, creative director, AI trainer, game designer, prompt engineer. Prompt engineer is one new job that has been created, which enable, and we have been seeing that right throughout our course, that how prompt engineering helped to do all of those artwork. So, and that is a job, and there is a good salary on that as well. So you guys can consider how you can utilize AI to transition into various career. If you are more art driven, then I think this class can be a starting point for you. But if you want to go into AI automation, web development, everything else, we'll talk about through in our upcoming sessions. Now we will start the lab, and Faiz will take over.
Yeah.
Mithila, before we jump into the lab, do you want to take a pause and ask any questions, or the audience or the participant have any questions? Yeah.
That's a good idea. Does anybody have anything to say? You can come online and speak up. Any question, any concern, anything.
I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate all of you. You guys did a great job. Kudos to every single one of you. Big clap, everyone together.
Thank you. So for the lab, we have provided the instruction in the chat. I'm hoping that you guys downloaded and you guys are ready and excited to do the lab with us.
Can I start the lab?
So I just have a question. In the downloaded, are you in your laptop? Are you ready, or do you need few moments to, have everything before? And I don't want you to fall behind. All right, I'm not hearing anything, so we'll get started then.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? I assume that's a yes. So as stated in the chat, there was an email sent, and also in the chat, you get the Google Drive where the lab is located. Here's the Google Drive one. We're gonna do the comic design, and so I hope you can do this very easily. First thing is when you download it, it would look like something like this. You can see Comic Design Lab has a couple of prompts that we prepared already and README files, some instructions. We're going to take these prompts and implement them in our, either ChatGPT, Gemini, or any use Gemini in this example. So open your Gemini. You can create an account, and create a new chat. First, design or some images though. So let's open this guy, put it in Notepad. So the first prompt here we're trying to create is some images though. We want to create some images. We're giving it some instructions, how it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to do, and the environment. So same thing what we talked about, the context, the task, and the constraints though. Take this guy, we copy him, and let's paste it here to our Gemini, press enter. So it's taking its time to create this image. Notice it's giving you what stage you're in though, and you go. And this is exactly what we want. A boy with a hoodie. Notice the classes, notice the environment, the classroom, the action that it's doing though, and what he's saying though. So take this guy, let's save him, and let's go inside here and call it panel 1. And let's save him as I guess, a JPEG.
Yeah. So Faiz, Ron has a question here,
Yes,
and that applies to everyone. So clarify that.
I can't. You can time or you can watch it. It's up to you though. Or you can follow me, or you can also watch this. But there will be there's a set later to every one of you how to do this.
So let us ask, are from the audience, are you guys doing it? Or are you able to follow the steps? Or do you guys have any suggestion that how shall we progress? If you want to speak up. Otherwise, if you want to put any comment on the chat, please do it. We want to make sure that you are having hands-on experience. But I know some people just like to watch it and do it later.
So let me change this to. All right. So now we did the first prompt. Let's go to the second prompt. What we are looking for. Second prompt here is now we wanted to give a type of situation. We want to show a conflict of a similar scenario, but a different sort of environment. So we want to generate this image. So now let's go back here, paste this guy. Notice how specific it is though. If you don't specify and if you don't give the environment, the set of instruction, the action that it needs to do, it's just going to give you garbage. So in the AI world, we have something saying garbage in. So here is the image right here. You can see the action that it's doing, the environment that's in, and what's happening to him, his reaction, and how he's playing with it. So let's save this guy. Let's call him panel 2. Okay. Now let's look at the last prompt here, the last that we want to generate. In its time because it seems like it was some issue. Let's try again. Some of these images could be very complicated depending on the type of prompt that you're doing though. You can make it very complex or you can make it very simple and easy, but the quality depends on how you prompt. And this is what we expect right here. So let's save this guy and call this guy panel 3. So now we're done generating images. Now I want to take all of these images. I want to put them in a website. I don't have some website or HTML, for example. I want to create this HTML, right? So how do I do that? So let's go to our next set of instructions for creating a UI, though. Now let's open him in Notepad. And here is a very, very specific set of instruction. Notice we're giving a role specification. You are an expert front-end developer, the environment, and the instructions. And therefore, the constraint we're trying to give, that it has to deliver 100% complete, fully implemented. We want good quality that comes out from this stuff, okay? Also, let's change this to, we saved it as JPEG, not PNG, but you can change it to however you want. Copy this. Now, this part of Gemini is taking instructions and generating images. Now you want to generate code. So what you need to do is take this, go to Canvas, and it will generate code from here though. And let's paste this guy. Notice the stage that's in, it's constructing the HTML. It's doing reviewing check because we provided constraint saying that we want good quality of work though. So this your constraint is almost like not just your limitation, but you can also specify QA, quality assurance. And now it is generating your app, this HTML file, which is taking its time. Okay. So notice it created sort of a blank HTML. I mean, here's an HTML. It created the atlas. We need to provide these images inside. We want to take those images that we saved. We want to put them over here, though, right? So let's download this guy. We downloaded him. Let's take him, which is right here. It's here to where the project folder is. But before we go, we want to make sure that those images are there, though, like the file. So let's say one. You can see panel 1 JPEG is here. 2 is there. Panel 3 is there. You could save it, rename it as however you doesn't really matter, right? Now let's open. Now we have panel 1, panel 2, 3, right? Now let's open this guy. And voila, this is your UI HTML, soon to be later on if you want to publish this into a website. So this is how it would look like. Panel 1, panel 2, and panel 3 right here. Any questions on this so far? We move to the next part. Okay, any questions? So now look into putting your stuff inside here. Let's look into more of Comic Studio, though, for example, right here. So here you can, this is for you, however you want, 10-year-old, 15-year specify type of etc. So for example, I want to, let's say, some black hoodie, oversized, messy red hair, blue hair, right? So it's taking your input right here. And notice over here, we are saying oversized square glasses. So we're describing what's over here. So you can take this, copy this guy, go back to your Gemini, or you can use any other if you wish, and generate, let's say this, and then generate the image. Good or bad experience. But Gemini, I think it produces very good quality, pretty good quality. So what we specify, black, blue hair. And again, just like before, you can save him, put it over here, then edit him, and then find the place where you can upload that image there. Just specify the name, and you would be able to hear panel 1, panel 2, panel 3. So this lab is done. I mean, this HTML there for you to play around with and get some experience. Any questions? Since we have like 10 more minutes, I'll pass it to you, Valentina. You're on mute.
You are muted.
Is there any question, concern, anything? Well, is there anybody who was able to follow through or any plan of doing it? Please speak up so that we know what is your need and we can tailor our next session accordingly. Or do you have any question, comment? No. If not, I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the homework, if that is okay. You guys are seeing my screen, right? So there was an email sent out before we started this session with that resources, and I downloaded it in my computer. So you shall have video game design homework folder. And this one was for comic design related to everything happened during the lab. For the video game design, there is a README file where we have specified what needs to be done. And at the end, you shall be able to create this video game. So there is that hero, villain, and then there is obstacle. So the idea here is keep moving without colliding. And by following the instruction, you guys shall be able to create this one. And then there's a scoring system. So there is that prompt. That prompt basically generated this. And just open the README file and All you have to do is you open your Gemini, select Canvas, and you copy paste that game prompt, and your game would be provided. So now in that entire session, we have been providing the prompt in order for things to be easy so that we can cover everything during the session. The whole purpose is to show the power of the prompt so that you can invest learning prompt engineering. And the bottom line in anything in the prompt is basically you make sure that you have more details. Instead of before it was more of specifying everything through the code, now you're specifying every single thing by the prompting, meaning you are with the natural language, you're specifying every single thing. So read through all the files that we have provided, read through all the prompt that's there, ask yourself why it is written in that way, what's the impact, make some tweak, run those things in your ChatGPT or Gemini, wherever you, and see what does it do. I think the way we can get it is by doing it more. And I think perfection is not at the beginning. It's just getting better and better.